Welcome back. In the last episode we bent these sides and we got them glued together, and now we have to make some decisions.
I walked into this garage still not quite knowing what I wanted to do, and so I decided to work with the walls for a little bit longer and see if they were worth saving.
I'm gonna take off the height, so we're gonna go for a 4-inch on the lower bout and then maybe a 3-inch on the upper bout. So it's already cracked a little bit. It's cracked above the neck block, and so that's actually okay, but before it gets any worse, let's take it off. I've already scribed a line. Shit. Good thing we're still taking material off of that. Made a little whoopsie. Now there's a big crack right there. God damn it. I think I'm just gonna restart on these walls.
Ultimately, I decided to scrap the sides and hang them up in the shop as a constant reminder of just do a better job to begin with.
The wall of shame.
Since I have to redo all the work that I did in the last episode, in this episode we're going to kind of skip over that a little bit and we're just going to go straight to the Rosette.
A few weeks ago we made this thing. It allows me to cut 20-degree angles that then end up with pieces that look like this turn into this. And so what I'm thinking is I'll do that same thing using my jig, because that's what I made the fucking jig for, so I might as well use it. But on top of that, I'm thinking there I have some walnut. I want to make wooden rings. I want to have a black ring, a white ring, a black ring, and then the mahogany, and then black, white, black on the outside as well. A lot of what I've seen other people do is they'll take a veneer of whatever the wood they want, and then they'll cut it into really thin strips and then bend those into a circle. How do I turn this into little strips of veneer? Actually, a lot of them don't even bend them first. They just start gluing it on to this mold. I don't have any walnut veneer, and so I'm wondering, how do I make walnut veneer without using that planer, because that planer chips like a mother. I think I have an idea. Okay. That took a really long time. We ended up with this. It's super thin, very uneven. It needs to be better if we're going to put it in a guitar. But what I'm curious about is if this is good enough for me to be able to cut little strips out of. Okay, here we go. So the goal of this would be to be able to not have to bend these beforehand. And it looks like if I do it more evenly, I probably would be able to, because the thinner part is very flexible. That means that it has to be down to a thickness of 1 millimeter.
But let's go check back on those sides, see how they're doing.
All right, it's been a day. This is looking a lot better than it was. There are no knots that didn't get torn out. There are no cracks. The waist area is going to need a little bit of work, but I mean, they always need a little bit of work. I think it's looking pretty good. Actually, it's a little bit thinner. It's not as deep as I had expected it. I wanted 4 inches down here and about 3 1/4 right here. I'm at 3 7/8, 3 5/8. I'm gonna radius these sides real fast. I say real fast as if it's gonna be a quick endeavor, but it never is. Not with guitar making, nothing's ever quick. I understand that classical guitars, I typically not radius on the top and back. But I'm going to radius them for 2 reasons. The first reason is because it makes the instrument stronger. Not that I really have to worry about that with putting nylon strings on it, but I don't want to take any chances. Why would I choose to make a less structurally sound instrument when I can just make one that is more structurally sound? The other reason is because it allows for a better joint soundboard, because I'm going to be radiusing the soundboard too on my Go Bar deck and the back. They're all going to be radius. All the bracing is going to be radius and whatnot. But if I match this radius to the soundboard radiuses, then everything just fits on it perfectly, and I don't have to fuss with trying to make sure that this is completely flat. We are effectively trying to get rid of that gap. Once that gap is gone, we're good.
Radiusing the sides genuinely takes forever, and so instead of watching all of that, let's go check on the Rosette.
Okay, I figured out the problem with the planer. I mean, look at that edge. So these are tool-sided, so this bottom edge is just fucked, man. I'd pull this apart to look at it, and I thought that the edge I was looking at was the cutting edge, and I was like, oh, that's sharp as fuck, and it looks nice, but no, this one, it was hidden from me. It's on the bottom. This one, it's just so bad. But this other side looks amazing, so I'm just going to swap sides, and yeah, so this was... So that means this side goes down, so this is the proper way. Okay. Okay, the planer gave much better results, but we found out how thick it can go. It can only go up to, or down to, any part that actually got touched by the blade, 1.6. So it can only go down to like 1.5 to 2 millimeters. Effectively 2 millimeters, because the rest of it's not. So that just means that we got to clean it up by hand. Yay. Look what happened. It split. I just realized that the grain for the tail block should not be running the same way as the joint I'm trying to glue together. It should be running perpendicular to it. See how the grain's going up with this crack? How the grain's like with it? So that's a weak spot in the wood. But if that grain was going the other way, then it would have a lot more strength like that. Oh, interesting. So I can fix this. I'm just gonna glue it back together and then clamp it. But I guess that's a good time to start worrying about the rosette. Yeah, for this part I was really just jamming out to a little bit of Amble. Such a good band. Highly recommend all of you guys go and check them out. The walls, on the other hand, were kind of giving me a little bit of a struggle. This is a bit ridiculous. Yeah, well, you aren't doing anything anymore. So. Yeah. I'm thinking glue on this side. Yeah. And then stick it on. I'm gonna need something to push it on with. Where's the accelerant? Oh, it's way over there. Oh, fuck. Do a little spray. Wait a second, just so that we don't fuck it up. Okay, I came up with the technique. Here's where we're at. It's looking a little rough right now. But first, you tape down the front. It's not glued, it's just taped. Just gonna go like that. Then, we can go through and go like this. Get it good, nice and contacted everywhere. Making sure we keep it tight. Press this all down for a little bit before it dries too much. That was messy. That was my first time doing that. I feel like there's a better way. Got it all cleaned up. This is what it looks like so far with mineral spirits on it. So this is pretty similar to what it will look like under lacquer. I really like how the white stripe turned out. It's a nice contrast, I think. Now I'm debating if I want to put on a center or like an inside strip as well, because this hole is how big I like the sound hole to be. 4.1, just over 4 inches. I feel like that's a really good size for a sound hole. And so this rosette already just a little bit smaller, so it's probably at 4 inches. And if I put that inside strip onto it, it's gonna make the sound it's gonna make this sound port just a little bit smaller, which makes a quieter instrument, and I don't know if I really want it to be quieter. And the idea of putting this back into the routing jig, the circle routing jig, and making it smaller kind of scares me, because I might get it off-centered, and I don't want that to happen, especially when it looks this good already. But it looks unfinished without... Doesn't that look unfinished? Well, we're just gonna have a smaller hole, no big deal, you know? No big deal. This time, though, I want to try to bend them before I glue them. I was touching it, but I didn't realize it was hot until after I'd let go. And I was like, oh. was a little warm. Oh, there we go. Yeah, that's accurate. Well, I must say that went much better than the first wrap around. So let's do another one. That's just fun to do. I don't know if it's necessary, but it's fun. Alright, now for another strip of walnut. This took a really long time, but it is complete. And here it is. I think that's going to look pretty good. This is the best rosette I've ever made. It's got a lot of problems, and you can still see a little bit of gaps through them. Actually, it's probably easier to see this way.
turned out until I shined it up against the light.
Oh, I'm really wishing I didn't do that. But they disappear when they're on here, so you'll never see them. That's embarrassing. Okay, look, don't ask how, but I broke it. It's gonna be as if nothing even happened. You guys understand? Okay, I believe this is our top. Is it? Is that the one I wanted?
So all that's left for this video was to thickness the top and to inlay the rosette.
Oh my god. You guys, I figured out how to make veneer. Ooh. That comes out fast. Okay, then we're gonna just squeeze all this stuff in here. I'm just gonna squeeze it in real good. Just get in there. I was racing against glue, so sorry I didn't get any footage, but there it is. It's all pressed down. But yeah, it's looking pretty good, I think. This line back there is lined up, which is very important. That line of walnut right in the back of the rosette is lined up, which is making me very happy. Ooh. Ooh. That is pretty. That is quite possibly the best rosette I've ever done in my life. You guys tell me, which one's nicer?